Student, welcome to our program of Science Third Prep Stage. Today we are going to talk about final revision. In this revision, we will answer the problem of some electric current intensity potential difference, and we will answer or study some chemical reaction, Mendel's law, and etc. Let's go to our final revision. The first question in our revision is give reason for. Although aluminium comes before zinc in chemical activity series, but it takes time more than zinc to react with acid. Again, although aluminium comes before zinc in chemical activity series, but it takes time more than zinc to react with acid. Due to the presence of a layer of aluminum oxide on aluminum sheet, which take time to be removed. Another question in give reason. There are two sources of the radioactive pollution. Again, there are two sources of the radioactive pollution. Natural radiation source. As a natural radioactive element on Earth, cosmic radiation comes from outer space. Artificial radiation source due to explosion of nuclear bomb or nuclear reactor. Mendel chose bee plant to conduct his experiment. He carried his experiment on bee plant because it is easy to plant it and grow fast, short life cycle, produce large number of plants in each generation, its flowers are hermaphrodite so can be self-pollinated, it can be easily artificially pollinated by human, has several pair of recognized contrasting traits. Another question, pituitary gland is called the master gland. Why or give reason? Pituitary gland is called the master gland because it secretes hormone which regulate many other glands. Iodine salt has preferred than the normal salt. Again, iodine salt has preferred than the normal salt because iodine salt is rich in iodine element that enter in the thyroxine hormone structure. The importance of rheostat in the electric circuit. It is used to control the electric current intensity and the potential difference in different parts of the circuit. Another question in our final revision today, illustrate by balanced symbolic equation some reaction as a reaction between magnesium and copper sulfate. The reaction between magnesium and copper sulfate. Mg plus CuSO4 as a copper sulfate with blue color. The blue color of copper sulfate will disappear because magnesium substitutes copper in its solution, and the production of this chemical reaction is MgSO4, magnesium sulfate, and copper as a reddish red precipitate. Another reaction, reduction of hot copper oxide by passing hydrogen on it. This reaction, we will call this reaction as oxidation and reduction reaction because hydrogen will take oxygen from copper oxide and give water vapor as H2O and copper as a reddish brown precipitate. Another chemical reaction, adding iron to diluted hydrochloric acid. adding iron to diluted hydrochloric acid, Fe as iron filling to HCl hydrochloric acid as a diluted acid. The iron is more active than hydrogen, so it will produce FeCl as a ferrous chloride and hydrogen. Decomposition of copper hydroxide. Decomposition of copper hydroxide. Copper hydroxide as a blue solution color will decompose by heating to copper oxide as a black precipitate, and water vapor will evolve. Reaction between sodium carbonate and diluted hydrochloric acid. Reaction between sodium carbonate and diluted hydrochloric acid as Na2CO3 sodium carbonate plus diluted of hydrochloric acid HCl, it will give or produce sodium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide as a gas evolve. What happens when? Increasing the temperature of the reactant. What will happen if you raise the temperature of reactant? As the temperature of reactant increase, so the number of collision between molecules increase, so the speed of reaction will increase. So again, when we raise a temperature of a reactant, the number of collision between molecules increase, so the speed of reaction or rate of reaction will increase. What will happen when putting a few copper sulfate in a test tube above the flame and substance is formed in the tube and gas is evolved? When we put a copper sulfate, write the balanced chemical equation. Copper sulfate CuSO4 as a blue. It will decompose by heating to copper oxide as a black precipitate, and SO3 trioxide sulfate evolve. Mention the color of substance that is formed in the tube and name of the evolved gas. The formed substance is a black copper oxide and the evolved gas is sulfur trioxide. Mention one importance for. Another question, mention one importance for. Radioactive element in medicine. Again, radioactive element in medicine to treat and diagnose diseases like cancer. Manganese dioxide. What is the importance of manganese dioxide? It is a substance which speeds up the chemical of decomposition of hydrogen peroxide as H2O2 without being changed or used up to produce water and oxygen. Again, magnesium dioxide, it is a substance which speeds up the chemical decomposition of hydrogen peroxide without being changed or used to produce water and oxygen. Ammeter. What is the function of ammeter? Ammeter used to measure current intensity and its unit is ampere. Again, ammeter used to measure current intensity and its unit is ampere. Ammeter can connected in electric circuit in a series, not parallel. Mention the quantities which is measured by the following unit. Again, mention the quantities which is measured by the following unit. REM, it is a measuring unit of absorbed radiation, volt per ampere. Volt for a potential difference and ampere for electric current intensity. So if we divide V over I, it will give resistance, and its measuring unit is electric resistance. Again, volt per ampere as V over I equal R or electric resistance. An equivalent measuring unit for volt per ampere is ohm. Ohm is a measuring unit for electric resistance also. Another question, what's mean by alternating current? Alternating current, it is a variable direction or has variable direction, has variable intensity produced from electric generator. So alternating current, it is a current with a variable direction, has a variable intensity produced from electric generator. Also used in lighting house and street, some electric appliance. What's mean by law of independent assortment of hereditary factor? When two individuals bearing a pair or more of alternative traits are crossed, the trait of each pair is inherited independently of the other and appear in the second generation in a ratio of 3:1. Hybrid individual, he is individual who carries a different pair of gene. One is a dominant and the other is recessive. Another question in our revision is write the scientific term of the resistance of conductor in which the electric current is 1 ampere and the potential difference is 1 volt. Again, write the scientific term, the resistance of a conductor in which the electric current is 1 ampere and the potential difference is 1 volt. It's mean ohm as a measuring unit of electric resistance. The charge that is transferred with an intensity of 1 ampere in 1 second. Again, the charge that transferred with an intensity of 1 ampere in 1 second is a coulomb as a measuring unit of electric charge, which equivalent ampere dot second. Arrangement of metal in a descending order according to the degree of their chemical activity. It is a chemical activity series. It is a chemical process which causes increase of hydrogen percentage or decrease of oxygen, or atom gain electron or more. It is a reduction reaction. Again, reduction when a compound decrease in oxygen or increase of hydrogen percentage, or atom gain electron or more, like non-metal. It is a spontaneous decaying of atom nuclei of radioactive element in nature, attempt to achieve a more stable composition. It is radioactivity phenomenon. Body stop growing and become dwarf. Write the scientific term, body stop growing and become dwarf. It is a dwarfism. It is a part of DNA and it responsible for appearance of inherited character. It is gene. They are ductless glands that secrete hormone into blood without passing through ducts. Again, they are ductless glands that secrete hormone into blood without passing through duct. It is endocrine gland. Endocrine gland. Another question in our general revision. Mention one contribution of each scientist from the following. George Simon Ohm. George Simon Ohm, it is the scientist who discovered the quantitative properties of the electric current and Ohm law. It is the scientist who discovered the quantitative properties of the electric current and Ohm law. Dr. Ali Mustafa Musharrafa, he was an Egyptian scientist, has great theories of atom and radiation basic of atomic bomb manufacture were based on his theories. Bedel and Tatum discovered how gene performed its function, took Nobel Prize in 1958. Complete the following statement. Another question in our final revision today. The electric generator convert energy to mechanical energy to electric energy. So the electric generator convert mechanical energy to electric energy. That is the reaction between an acid and alkali to form salt and water. Again, the neutralization reaction is the reaction between an acid and alkali to form salt and water. CuOH as a copper hydroxide with heated, it will decompose into copper oxide CuO as a black precipitate and water vapor evolve. The ability to rule the tongue of one of the traits is the human being. Dominate. Again, the ability to rule the tongue of one of the dominate, not recessive trait in the human being. The change that appear on a living organism as a result of exposure to radiation are called physical change. Again, physical change, it is the change that appear on a living organism as a result of exposure to radiation. The apparatus is used to measure the electromotive force. It is a voltmeter. Again, the voltmeter is apparatus is used to measure the electromotive force. And there are another function of voltmeter which measured potential difference between two ends. Another question is compare between ammeter and voltmeter. The comparison between ammeter and voltmeter used to measure potential difference, as we said, an electromotive force of battery, but the ammeter used to measure electric current intensity. The voltmeter connected parallel to electric circuit, but the ammeter connected series to electric circuit. In voltmeter, we can see that the measuring unit of volt, again, the measuring unit of potential difference or electromotive force as a voltmeter measured it is a volt, but ammeter, a measuring unit of electric current intensity, is ampere. Another comparison between source of radiation. Source of radiation, there are two sources of radiation, natural source and artificial source. In natural source, represented by natural radioactive element in Earth's surface, cosmic radiation from outer space, but in artificial source due to explosion of nuclear bomb and the nuclear reactor. Simple goiter and exophthalmic goiter. Simple goiter, enlargement of thyroid gland and neck because decrease of secretion in thyroxine hormone because lack of iodine from food. Another goiter due to or enlargement of thyroid gland with loss of weight tension because increase of secretion in thyroxine hormone with large amount. This question is a problem in our final revision. Calculate the quantity of electric pulses in a conductor of resistance 2200 ohm for 120 seconds when it's connected to a source of electric potential 220 volt. There are two problems. Firstly, find the current intensity R equal V over I, or I electric current intensity equal V over R as a potential difference divided resistance. 220 over 2200 equals 0.1 ampere. So the electric current passed in this circuit is 0.1 ampere. Secondly, find the quantity of electric pulses as electric current intensity equal electric charge over time. So electric charge or quantity of electricity equal electric current intensity I times T. So the quantity of electric equals 0.1 times 120 equal 12 coulomb. Another problem, Omar entered a laboratory. He found a test tube contained copper sulfate. As we know that copper sulfate is CuSO4. How could he obtain a reddish brown precipitate by two methods? Firstly, he add a piece of magnesium to copper sulfate. As a magnesium is more active than a copper, it will substitute copper in this solution and produce magnesium sulfate and copper as a reddish brown precipitate. So the first method to obtain copper from magnesium, by the reaction between magnesium and copper sulfate, it will substitute copper and copper reddish brown precipitate is produced. The second method is heated copper sulfate as a blue solution. It will decompose into CuO as a black precipitate and trioxide sulfate. Copper oxide then passing hydrogen gas over the hot copper oxide. Reduction and oxidation reaction will occur to give copper as a reddish brown precipitate. The last question in our revision is mentioned importance of rheostat in the electric circuit used to control the electric current intensity and the potential difference in different parts of the circuit. Ohm's law and draw it. This figure shows the battery which connected with a switch and a meter with a fixed resistance and rheostat, but a voltmeter connected with fixed resistance in a barrel. Again, Ohm's law figure can draw as a battery with switch, a meter, and fixed resistance and rheostat in a series connection. And voltmeter will connected with a fixed resistance in a barrel. This is an Ohm law. But the Definition of Ohm law: the electric current intensity passing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across it at a constant temperature. Again, the electric current intensity passing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across it at a constant temperature. The peaceful use of the nuclear energy: mention the peaceful use of nuclear energy in medical field to treat and diagnose diseases like cancer, in the electricity generation field to heat water to produce steam, to operate turbine to generate electricity, in agriculture field to eliminate pests and improve some plant races. Dear student, I hope to enjoy your time with us. Try to answer the question in our main school book and study hard. Do your best in the exam. At the end, I hope you enjoy your time with us. Goodbye and good luck, everybody.